Hey guys, what's up? This is PedroSaltana, or Ralph, or now Scoom. Basically, I'm making this video to address why I changed my name away from PedroSaltana and why I chose Scoom. So let's go from the beginning, from PedroSaltana's birth on why I chose that name. Basically, PedroSaltana was a name that I chose back in like 2014, early 2014, so 3 years ago. I kind of got into Twitch around that time, and one of the streamers that I used to watch was Lyric. Lyric was like my favorite streamer back then, and he was like my initial channel I used to watch on Twitch. And he still is, though. He still is. It's one of the main channels I actually watch. I really enjoy watching Lyric. But basically, back then in 2014, early 2014, I got into Twitch. And I started watching Lyric, and I loved his streams, and I mainly liked the parts where he used to do role playing, like all the RP servers, in Arma 2, Taviana Live, Takistan Live, and all that stuff. I really did enjoy it, and I never seen roleplay before. That was like my first time ever seeing like RP in an online game, kind of in that sense. So I was really enjoying that. That he made me buy Arma 2 and Arma 3, and I basically just joined the servers. Never really stream sniped him. Like, I did not stream snipe him. I knew he was sometimes playing the server, but I would not like watch him and follow him on purpose or anything like that. But I just played on the servers, like just to be my own character. I wanted to have some fun, and that's the birth of PedroSaltana. Like, the first thing I came up with, I know how to speak English and Spanish. I thought maybe I'll be a funny Mexican guy. I never saw like on his streams anything like that. So, I just thought I'll be a character and join the servers, just to entertain. If I'm around Lyric, entertain. If the stream liked it and stuff. I just wanted to make like his RP better. I don't know, like in my own way. It was kind of weird. But that's how PedroSaltana came up. I did run into Lyric a few times, and there's like some highlights and stuff. You can actually YouTube that where I roleplayed with him. But that was the birth of PedroSaltana. That's how I got the name. It was just random. I just chose like a random like Spanish Mexican name that I chose. So yeah, and since I was watching Lyric and I was kind of part of the community, I made a Twitch account. I didn't have a Twitch account, so I made one, and I don't know what name to think about to use. So at that time, and I thought the most common sense one would be to use PedroSaltana. So I just typed in PedroSaltana, and I got to meet some people in the community that are now like my mods, or which you know about, which is What Even, Louise. I also met Fixators, which is Lyric's video editor now, and Vixing and Sheriff Morix. Those were the initial guys that I was really close with in the Lyrics community at the very beginning. And yeah, basically I used to hang out with them, became friends, and that was early 2014. Then 2015 came around. I think I streamed like very little. I used to play like League of Legends along the way, and I think I streamed like one stream of League of Legends as under the PedroSaltana name, but I never really streamed until 1 year after. 1 year after, around April 2015, Reign of Kings came out, and I saw obviously Lyric playing that server, and it was just really funny watching all the characters, the goofy characters you can make, the RP that was going on. So I wanted to hop into that server, but that server was a streamer or a content creator invite server. So obviously I did not know anyone outside Lyric except for Jamal Butterworth, I think. What his name? I already knew him because I roleplayed with him in Arma 3. So he was in that server, Moon server, and he managed to get me invited there, and that's how I started playing Reign of Kings. And obviously PedroSaltana kind of didn't make sense to roleplay in a medieval setting, so I just decided to go with a new name. And I don't know how, out of the blue, I chose Ralph. I can't remember why I chose Ralph. It was just a random name. I'm just gonna go with Ralph. And at the beginning, I used to do like a consistent Arnold voice, like very angry, like just that as Ralph. But then it grew to be like its own character with a creepy normal voice. And then when he gets angry, he would shout and do that voice. And yeah, that's how basically Ralph started out. And after playing on the Reign of Kings server for a few days and stuff, like a lot of my friends, like Louise, Fix, Vixing, and those, they were like encouraging me to stream because they were actually enjoying my roleplay, and they wanted to see from my perspective and stuff like that. So that's how I started streaming, and as soon as I started streaming, I really did enjoy it. I did enjoy it, and I started on PedroSaltana. Like, I didn't make a new account or anything like that. That's the account that I was using, so I started streaming under that name, and my channel obviously started growing since then. From Reign of Kings, kind of got popular there. I still remember the first day that I got hosted by That's Cat, like over 100 viewers, and I was getting like maybe like 20, 30 or something like that, I can't remember. And that for me was crazy, and I still remember to this day that moment, and I was like really nervous. Anyways, cut that shit, we don't need that. But yeah, so Ralph was in Reign of Kings, was a roleplay character. Then Ark came out, obviously with the same community, Moon's server. We were all hyped about Ark because it was a new thing that we could roleplay in. Reign of Kings was kind of dying too. At that point, I think it was like dead when Ark came out. Obviously now Ark killed it. But Ark came out, and I obviously stick with the name Ralph because I thought it was going to be a roleplay server, which kind of started that way. And I kept Ralph. You know, started playing the Moon server, got to know more people. This is where I already met Shrooms back in Reign of Kings, but this is where I kind of like joined Shrooms' tribe. Had like a funny encounter with him at the beginning, like a role-play encounter, and then I just pretty much started hanging out with Shrooms, and we did everything together. And then from that Moon server, it ended up going to a PvP server. So we went from like roleplay to a PvP server, Fairlights. And I still kept the name Ralph, and then once the PvP server Fairlights was over, SOTF came out, and I still kept Ralph, because, I mean, I was known as that. I mean, it was an RP character, but, you know, it transitioned to that, and I just kept on playing SOTF throughout until this point. Obviously, a couple of months ago that I haven't played Ark or SOTF that much, but I've always been known as Ralph. So my Twitch account was PedroSaltana, and my in-game name, roleplay name was Ralph. And it was just really confusing for me since the very beginning. But since at the beginning I didn't know I was going to grow this much, and then once I got partnered and stuff like that, it just became confusing for me, like, to brand myself, because my channel name was PedroSaltana, which was a role-playing name. People used to call me, my characters were Ralph, which is a role-playing name too. My real name is Karon. It's not nothing to do with with PedroSaltana or Ralph, so it was kind of confusing in that sense. And I also have my real-life nickname, which is Scoom, which I'll go with, carry on with the story later. But yeah, that's what I was in that situation, and I really wanted to change my name, and obviously Twitch didn't allow that until now. Oh god, this video is going to be really long. So that's pretty much it. That's a PedroSaltana side, and now basically Scoom. Why I chose Scoom and why I didn't choose Ralph, for example, and stuff like that. Basically, Scoom is a real-life nickname that I've had for a while. Like, I invented this name when I was 8 years old. That was around 17 years ago. 2000, I think it was 2000. 17 years ago. That's when I was 8 or 9 years old. Scoom was the name I came up with, and you're wondering why Scoom. Basically, I went on a family vacation to Orlando, Florida back in 2000 with my cousins, which is like 4 of us, 4 guys around the same age. Basically, we watched in Orlando, Florida, in the theme park, we watched a show of the Terminator, a 3D show of Terminator. And as soon as we finished watching that show, we all came out and were like thinking of cool names, because Terminator, you know, was a cool like nickname kind of thing. And, you know, us kids inventing names for each other. So, I don't know, out of the blue, I thought, I just invented this name. I've never heard of this before. I just said Scoom would be like a cool nickname for myself. I don't know why. And it all started because when I was younger, I used to have a relatively big head compared to my body. The size of my head was quite big compared to the size of my body. Luckily, I grew into it. I don't think I have a big head. So, but and my cousin used to tease me. You know, real kids, we tease each other. So they used to tease me the fact that I had a big head and a small body. So when I said Scoom, when I invented the name Scoom, all my cousins and my brother looked at me and they said, oh, Scoom means big head and shit like that. So basically Scoom started to become like an insult, saying that every time they would call me Scoom when they saw me. So I thought it was going to be a cool name, and they started insulting me with it. So throughout the whole vacation they did that, and I was sad and stuff, you know, kid stuff. But after that vacation, pretty much Scoom kind of died for like a year, 2 or 3. And then it came back when I was like 10, 11 years old. I can't remember exact time, but at that point my head was like kind of fine with my body, so they didn't insult me anymore. You know, that we were kids as well. So so basically when I was going to school and stuff like that, I can't remember how I brought it up again, but basically I brought up Scoom, and then my brother started calling me Scoom again. My cousins, like all my friends that I met, started calling me Scoom. And at that point, I liked it. I liked the name. So throughout all these years, I've been called Scoom. Like my real life friends all call me Scoom nowadays. Pretty much everyone except for like some families call me Scoom, and that's my nickname. That's what I've been known as, and I've used this sometimes online and stuff. So I just thought this name would be the best for me going forward, because I wanted a name change. And PedroSaltana is an RP character. Ralph is an RP character. And Scoom is a nickname. Scoom is a nickname that I can push forward when I meet people. I can, you know, obviously my first real name, Karen, or Scoom, I'm like perfectly fine with that when I go to cons. But when I used to go to, like when I went to a GamesCon or TwitchCon, I'm like, oh, I'm Karen, I mean, I'm PedroSaltana, I mean, I'm Ralph. You know, I want to be known as one nickname. And Scoom is for me a nickname that everyone's been calling me for so many years, and I think it's just a perfect transition to. Yes, it's change, and everyone hates change. I hate change myself. I know for a lot of you, you like to call me Pedro. For a lot of you, mostly, for majority of you, call me Ralph. And you're probably gonna still call me Ralph, which is fine. I accept that, but obviously going forward for the new viewers, and hopefully the viewers that are gonna stick around, will also start calling me, you know, Scoom. If you call me Ralph, it's fine. You know, it's my RP character. I understand that, but yeah, I feel like this is, for me, going forward would be much better. I'm gonna be much happier with this. My stream's not gonna change. It's still gonna be me. Like, obviously I'm playing more Battle Royale and competitive H1Z1 right now. Obviously I'm hitting that hard. I'm trying to get into the competitive scene. So yeah, I feel like it's a good transition to start now, since I'm leaving Ark and the roleplay. I'm still gonna roleplay sometimes, but it's not gonna be the main focus anymore, even though I started with that. This is who I am. I like being competitive, and you know, I also like enjoying. I'm also goofy. That's who Scoom is. Like, what do you see on stream is Scoom. So nothing's really gonna change in that sense. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I know it's a long video, but I just wanted to clarify it, and hope to see you guys on the stream. Alright, guys? Bye-bye. Why am I saying bye? This freaking video. Just stop it, man. Alright.